Okay, so we're going to be looking at the new Arrow Season 5. Really exciting season so far. We've got the introduction of 4 new heroes. We've got Wild Dog, Artemis, Ragman, and we've got Mr. Terrific, who I don't quite understand the point of, but anyway, more on that later. The roles of the heroes, where are they going? It's really interesting to say that because in the beginning of the series, it was quite robust and the characters didn't really do much apart from Mr. Terrific, whose role is to get punched and get kidnapped, and that's about it really. But apart from that, the Wild Dog arc and the Ragman arc as well came in as a villain, but Oliver somehow tried to transform him into a hero, so it's really interesting to see that. And it's also the arc between Ragman and Felicity, because obviously Felicity is the reason why Ragman is Ragman. Discussing Tobias Church as well, it's quite interesting to think about that story up because we haven't seen a human villain so far. There's always been superhuman or mystical or something like that. So it's really interesting to see that Tobias Church is basically a gang lord who's taken over the whole of Star City. Who is Prometheus? So I've got my ideas on who Prometheus is. I think it's either Super Hot Reporter or Adrian Chase. More on Adrian Chase. People, online theories, think that Adrian Chase is the Master Vigilante we saw in episode 5 or 6, I think, I can't quite remember. But I think it might be Adrian Chase because he gave a reference in an earlier episode saying that he's got a grudge against Oliver. And that's quite interesting to think because why would he have that grudge? And also we know, spoiler alert, that the Prometheus is the son of a big pharmaceutical company who Oliver shot in the first season. Talking about the last Arrow episode we saw Curtis' husband walk out, we saw Felicity's boyfriend got shot, and Team Arrow is currently falling apart, and also really big spoiler ahead, apparently Sarah Lance has come back. Now we're not quite sure why, but theories online saying that she's the Earth 2 version who somehow turned good and has now come back into this season. Now the crossover, I really want to talk about the crossover because it was the 100th episode of Arrow. It took place, the first episode was in Supergirl, second crossover was in Flash, third Arrow, and then finished on Legends. Now concentrating on the Arrow episode, because it was the 100th episode, it was all based in a sort of virtual reality that Arrow and the Team Arrow, it was basically the story of what happened if Oliver didn't get on the ship. I mean, he's getting married to Sarah, he's getting married to Laurel, Sarah's still there as well, Sarah's dad, Quentin, still hates Oliver, so that was really interesting to see, and there was a moment as well where they all started sort of realising where they were, and they had to fight against their inner demons. So everyone was up against each other, so Dick was up against Andy, Oliver was up against Deathstroke, so we see Sarah up against Damien Dark, etc, etc. I think the crossover event was fantastic because we actually got to see every single member of the Arrowverse in one episode, and for me that was just brilliant. So future plans, what are we thinking? I think it's going to be a really difficult time for Team Arrow. We've seen that the Team Arrow is currently completely disbanded, Laurel's come back, and Curtis' husband's walked away. Felicity's boyfriend is now dead because he got shot. So what's going to happen in the future? I'm not quite sure. I think Prometheus is going to test every single member of Team Arrow to some sort of extent, and it's going to be really exciting for me to sort of think about that. So possibly going to be quite a good season.